Good afternoon and welcome to Dialogue with Deidre. I'm your host, Deidre Malone. So glad that you're back with us on this great Friday here in Memphis, Tennessee. I have someone on the show today that is a longtime friend, Judith Blackmore. Our sons kind of grew up together. We've known each other forever. Judith, I don't think you've been on Dialogue with Deidre, have you?
I don't think so. I have watched you tape it, but I think this is my first time.
Well,
Long time friend.
I know, right? Welcome to Dialogue with Deidre.
Well, I am glad to be here finally.
Finally.
Yeah.
So let's talk about, Judith is a busy woman. She runs a foundation, and the foundation has been around a while, the Tark Black Foundation. Mm-hmm. Judith, how long has the foundation been in existence?
Well, we launched the foundation in 2017, April of 2017. So what's that, 7 years?
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
It goes by so fast.
It really does. It goes by real fast, 6 years. But anyway, we launched it in April of 2017, and we started out as you know, as a basketball camp.
Right.
And then, but our basketball camp was a little different in that we taught life skills. Basketball was a hook, but the actually what we wanted to do was provide life skills. And life skills training went over so well for boys.
Right.
We had people that came to us and said, okay, we're going to have all these boys with life skills. What about girls?
Right.
So the following year in 2018, we launched GLAM. And GLAM, as I tell people, is not what you think. GLAM is Girls Life Academy, Memphis.
Oh, so it's not glamorous, glam yourself up.
Well, we wanted to do that too.
Okay.
We want that too. But GLAM is the opportunity to get girls involved. We figured that's a name that resonates. And what we do is we teach life skills. And some of that is getting glamorous.
Absolutely.
But we also want to get young people, young ladies ready for life in terms of relationships, ready for jobs, anything that you can think of, Deidre, that has to do with, well, I say, ask yourself the question, what kinds of things do I wish that someone taught me when I was 16, 17 years old?
Goodness.
That maybe once I became an adult, I would not have had to learn the hard way, or I would have had more information about. And those are the kinds of things that we do. So we really depend upon the community. There's no really any real set thing that necessarily we do. We look to resources, and women in particular, that can provide information to young women about a plethora of things.
So, Judith, I would think that the list would be long for a number of young ladies. Things that maybe their parents, their moms, their dads may not have shared with them.
Right.
So what are the types of things that GLAM is teaching these young ladies that participate in the program?
Well, for example, one year we took a group of girls to Acura dealership. And they went through the entire process of purchasing a car.
Okay.
And they learned some things that I didn't even know at the time about how to be savvy when it comes to making a car deal. We have taken the young ladies to lease an apartment and gone through the entire process of what is it of reading a contract, signing a contract, and making decisions about an apartment. We have doctors that have come and talked about health. And what we try to do is from a different perspective. There's some things that are information easily attained, but we even talked about things like, how do you pick a doctor? What kinds of things should I take in consideration when I'm selecting a doctor? We focus on nutrition. We focus on social emotional health and well-being, because we know that it's one thing to go get a job, but what will keep the job for you is your life skills, how you can manage in the relationships with bosses and other people that you have to interact with. We even have focused on relationship with your parents.
It's good. Being able to communicate effectively.
How to communicate effectively with parents, how to diffuse some situations. We have had sessions where we dealt with romantic relationships. We had a lady that came and talked to, at the time we had boys and girls. And from a perspective, different perspectives, we taught what are girls thinking when boys say certain things and do certain things. What are girls thinking when boys respond a certain way?
Okay.
So, because, we communicate differently.
Right.
So we have had classes that we taught those kinds of things. So we just kind of look at the resources that are out there every summer. We have women and people that come to us that are interested in providing a session. And then we build the summer program based on the resources that we have and what we think will resonate with the young people that we're working with.
I mean, some of the things that you're teaching these young ladies, it's absolutely amazing because you don't even think about it. You go to school, some you graduate from high school, you want to move out of your parents' home, and you go to an apartment complex. Yeah, you're grown. You're 18, 19. But have you ever signed a contract before? What are you looking for? I mean, to be able to teach them those things to pay attention to. What are those percentages? And will your rent increase? So those types of things, that's pretty amazing. And to take them to a car dealership, right?
Mm-hmm.
And, what you're thinking about is actually buying a car, and what is that interest rate like? You don't think about that. You just know that you want to go buy a Mustang, right? And you know what color you want that Mustang to be. Okay, I want a red Mustang, right? But being able to sit down and talk about the finances, who thinks about that at 18 or 19? That's amazing. That's a good thing.
And they don't. And another thing that we do, we focus on, actually, with our programs, we have 4 areas that we focus on. We focus on wealth, health, global understanding, and technology. Our thinking is if you understand concepts in those 4 areas, you're ready for life. So we have actually partnered internationally because, of course, the Tariq Black Foundation was founded by Tariq Black, who's an NBA international basketball player. So as he has traveled around the world playing ball, we've had the opportunity to build relationships and rapport with other entities outside of this country.
But that's not all he is. He's somebody's son.
Yes, well, just back up. He is my son.
Yes.
And as he's traveled and gotten international experience, I have seen how it has opened up his way of thinking.
Right.
And so what we have tried to do is take advantage of the opportunity to have global relationships so we can provide global education. And that's one of the reasons why global education is one of our, what we call program anchors.
Okay.
So we have partnered with other organizations. For example, we partnered with Code Crew during the pandemic, and we sponsored the Global Sports Tech Youth Challenge, where we had a group of young people from Code Crew that actually competed with a group of kids from Tel Aviv and Jerusalem.
Wow.
And they did a hackathon based on sports technology. And then we had judges that actually, international judges, that judged what they came up with. We had, like, for example, a venture capitalist from Google was one of the judges. We had a former female Harlem Globetrotter.
Wonderful.
That was a judge.
Yes.
So we try to cover everything, because the other thing that a way we think is that I can teach you all kinds of things, but if you're not ready to compete on a global level, that is global in terms of education, global in terms of business, in terms of jobs, and the way you think, you're still behind.
And so I'm really glad to hear, Judith, that the foundation is focused on that, because outside of the U.S., other countries teach their children that. I mean, that it's a global experience. You need to be up on your technology because that's the way of the world. We have not focused as much on that. I'd say maybe now in the last maybe 5 to 10 years we have a focus. But other countries have been leading the way in technology, not so much the U.S. And so I'm really glad to see that that's a part of what you're focused on. And I remember the hackathon, and that was pretty exciting. Did the kids really get a kick out of participating in it?
They did. They did. 2.5 days.
Wow.
During the Thanksgiving holidays, and it worked well because everybody was at home.
Okay.
The challenge in doing that kind of program is the big time difference, and now the kids are back in school. We can't do as much as we did before. But Deidre, back to your point about global education, one of the things when you live in other countries or in other continents, you can go to other countries without leaving the continent. Or you go to other countries, like we go from Tennessee to Arkansas, or Arkansas or Tennessee to Mississippi. Whereas if you live in Europe, you can go from Italy to Greece without leaving the continent.
That's right.
So because we don't connect with other countries like others countries do, then our kids are kind of landlocked. I mean, we've got two bordering countries, Canada and Mexico.
Right.
And you have to go a ways in order to be able to cross the border to go to those other countries.
Right.
So that's the other thing that's important to us. Another thing that came to mind as we were planning global programming is the fact the accessibility to other countries. It's not like with other countries that our kids will end up competing against for jobs and education and other places. So that's the other reason why global education was so important to us.
Well, let's talk about Glam Fest that's coming up.
Okay.
And it's coming up really soon. And I know you want to provide access to young ladies to participate in Glam Fest. And so what's the criteria for it?
Well, Glam Fest is for girls 15 and up.
Okay.
And as we've been planning this, Deidre, when I say up, I really mean up in terms of I can see a lot of the programming we're doing that college young ladies will be interested in.
Wonderful.
Because one of the theme for this year, and this is the first year we've done Glam Fest.
Okay.
We have done the 6 weeks summer glam program over the last 5 years, but Glam Fest is a new venture for us. Okay. We wanted to provide the education for more girls, shorter period of times, 2 days, June 2nd, June 3rd. And the opportunity for girls to come in and get this education all at one time. So we're looking for girls in transition, and everybody's in transition. The theme is a whole new world. And that can mean anything, a whole new world in terms of the other side of the pandemic, a whole new world for women in technology, for women as bosses, a whole new world in terms of the environment that we're living in and how we're having to navigate the environment, a whole new world and how we think about ourselves in society.
Right.
So that's the thing for this year. And we're going to focus on those things that are new to us and getting young ladies ready for whatever their transition stage. So we're saying 15 and up.
Okay.
And most 15-year-olds are probably going into the 10th grade.
Okay. Yep. 10th grade.
Somewhere around there. Yeah.
So let's talk about June 2nd and June 3rd. You're going to kick off the event with a movie screening.
We are going to kick off the event with a surprise movie screening. We can't disclose that right now, but we will a couple of weeks before the actual event starts.
Okay.
And then after we leave the movie screening, we're going to come back and we've got Jean Jackson, who works for HBO, but she's actually from Memphis. She's coming from LA, and she's actually a filmmaker herself. You may be familiar with The Last of Us. She works on that project. Well, she is going to lead a discussion about film and life. Because, we know that life is reflected in film. And then after that, we're going to have a session on nutrition and health. We have Sable Ote.
Oh, we love Sable. She's the native Memphian who's a bobsledder, Olympic bobsledder, and entrepreneur and a mom, young mom. We just love Sable Ote.
Well, she's going to do a session on nutrition and fitness. And then the girls will come back the next day. We have Jennifer McDaniel, who Jennifer actually worked for L'Oreal, and she left L'Oreal to start her own company, which is Soul Abode. Okay. And she and the ladies of Soul Abode focus on wellness, on your environment, the environment around you, your emotional health, your physical health, and all those things that constitute you being well 100% all over.
Okay.
So she's going to do the morning session, her wellness session with young ladies. And then after that, we've got Shaylin Scott Benjamin Scott, who is, she is a Sisters with Superpower recipient in Dallas. She also is the founder of Book Mecca. And Shaylin's going to talk about books and how we can use books to empower ourselves, how we can find out information from books. She's going to recommend some books that young ladies should read. In order to, like I said, our age group is 15 and up. And it's 15 and up, meaning college-age young ladies and 15-year-olds that are probably around 10th grade.
Okay.
And around that age. So she's got some books that she's going to suggest and also talk about life and books.
And so you have a goal of 100 plus, 160.
About 168 because we're going to we got transportation. That's about how many can go on the bus.
Okay.
So we're hoping everybody goes ahead and gets registered, because the other thing that I want to point out, because the festival kicks off at another site, everybody needs to be registered, checked in on time so that we can load the buses and go. We're actually going from Mount Olive, which is where we're headquartered, to the Powerhouse Theater, which is about 5 minutes away. So, but there will be nobody at the church to check anyone out up in after we leave. So, but yes, we're going to kick it off with that. That second day, we have a panel of women, young women from GM and from technology. So we're going to do a whole session on women in technology. One of our board members actually is a young engineer at GM, and she's putting together this panel discussion. We're going to have a session on feminine products. And some of the new things that are out there. And True Moringa is one of our sponsors. True Moringa is a vegan skincare line, Deidre. And, we talk a lot about chemical-free skincare, chemical-free cosmetics and products. We're going to do a session on safe cosmetics. And they have an opportunity to test True Moringa. True Moringa is actually manufactured in Ghana.
Okay.
And so, yes, we're going to have some of those products, get a chance to try them out, see what you think about them, and then understand. We want our girls to understand so that you can make a decision about whatever products or skincare products you use, but it's good for you to know what is a vegan product.
Exactly.
And what do we mean when we say chemical-free. So that session is going to entail that. There's just going to be 2 days of just lots of information, lots of different life skills, kinds of activities and things so that we can get girls ready and girls thinking and knowing that the information is out there. That's the main thing that we want to do, is that we cannot teach you everything.
Right.
But what I hope is you walk away with the understanding that the information is out there. You just need to find out as you make life decisions.
Well, and you're opening their minds to all different aspects of things. Makeup. Who ever thought about vegan makeup? I mean, you know the color that you like, you know that you want to make sure that your skin's healthy, but you don't even think about it. And so you're opening their minds to things that they probably haven't even thought about, which I think is an incredible opportunity for young ladies.
Well, we hope that young ladies will come out
Yeah.
and take away this information and then go out and do their own research and find out other things in life. But we're trying to cover kind of all the aspects of life that we can in a 2-day period of time.
Well, just thinking back of, as you mentioned earlier, Judith, that GLAM is not a new program for the foundation, but GLAM Fest, this is the first year that you're doing that. But just thinking about some of the activities that you've had in the past for these young ladies. You took them to a car dealership. You took them to an apartment complex to learn how, if you wanted to get your first apartment, what is that experience like? I mean, those are life skills that you're normally not taught until you're in that situation where you're going to buy your first car, right? And maybe you're, I used to tell my boys all the time, make sure you take your dad with you right? So nobody will get over on you. But at least they're learning the types of things that they should ask about and be sure of. And so it's an amazing opportunity for young women.
Well, we think so. One of the things that we talked a lot about too is credit.
Yes.
And we've had Paragon Bank, which is our bank, that has come every year and done a session on credit. So we kind of think of everything and the resources we have out there to teach all these different things. We've had doctors to come to talk about when you go for a doctor's visit, what kinds of things should you ask?
Right.
How do you select a doctor? What kinds of things should you factor into picking a doctor? So we try every year. It's a little different. It's not the same. This year is definitely different in terms of GLAM with its 2-day festival, but we're going to see how this goes. It gives us the opportunity. Before, Deidre, we would have maybe 20 to 25 girls in GLAM.
Right.
And this year we're doing probably 5 times as many or more.
Right.
This year. So we're hoping and praying this model goes over well and we can reach more girls with our message and what we're trying to do in teaching life skills.
Well, it's an opportunity, young ladies. And Judith said 15 and up. And so there was no limit at the top, right, Judith?
Right.
So how can they sign up, Judith?
Well, they can sign up by going to the Tariq Black Foundation. That's tariqblackfoundation.org. Go on our events page, and there is a sign-up sheet there. It'll take you to the form. Or you can go to Eventbrite, and you can sign up on Eventbrite, or you can call us at 901-497-6634.
Okay, Judith Blackmore, my long-term friend, and I
did
can't
you
believe.
mention our sponsors?
Oh, please mention your sponsors and
Yeah,
share,
because
share
this is
the best one last.
Okay, this is how we are able to do this. Our sponsors are National Basketball Players Association Foundation, Lemon Perfect, which is going to keep us hydrated.
Yes.
TVA,
Tennessee Valley Authority.
Tennessee Valley Authority, True Moringa, Solar Bowl, and Service Master Clean.
Okay.
And last but not least, the Carter Malone Group. So we are thankful to our sponsors because we could not do this without them.
Well, we are so glad to be a sponsor of Glam Fest. When Judith approached me about it, I thought, what a wonderful opportunity. So glad the firm can be a sponsor of this incredible event. And so, ladies, you have an opportunity to sign up. Judith told you where to go, and you'll also see that information on the screen at the end of the show, the Tariq Black Foundation website. So it's going to be an incredible 2 days, and we hope you sign up to be a part of it. Thank you so much for watching Dialogue with Deidre. And Judith, thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you so much for having me. This has been fun.
I know, and you can come back anytime. The next time Judith comes back, we're going to be talking about our travels.
Yes. Yes.
Because we're traveling buddies. So have a great Friday. Okay?
Did that work?
Okay.
Okay.